Alright, and we're back. Sorry it took a little longer than I expected, my friends. But here we are. Let me just find our password. Oh. This is it. Welcome to the machine. This is the level that I've been stuck on for what feels like all of my life before now. So we've got here an auto-scrolling maze that goes on for about 6 minutes. And it's constantly throwing enemies at you from random directions that the enemies are not supposed to be a one-hit kill, but they often are. Because you have no recovery time between damage. So if the enemy decides it wants to stop on top of you, then it's a one-hit kill, because it'll just drain your entire life bar in, 2 frames. And if the enemies don't get you, well, don't worry. The screen is going to move in a direction that crunches you. So this maze itself is impossible enough. But if you can make it through, and I have made it through several times. I usually make it through the whole maze once or twice per hour when I'm trying to beat this. But if you make it through, there's a giant boss at the end that I don't know how to defeat. It's like a giant head, and its eyes are its weak point. And if you shoot it in the eyes enough, its eyes fall out. But once its eyes fall out, it's not weak to anything anymore. So there's some trick to defeating the boss that I can't figure out, because I can't live long enough to discover what its third weak point is. So that's why I've been hopelessly stuck here forever. There's an example of the crunching. You're gonna see a lot. Every way that you can die, you're gonna see me die in every way that's possible several times. Several will prove to be an understatement. My favorite music is back, Cow says. I've been hoping that I would be able to figure out how to do this, but I think realistically, we're gonna be stuck here until I finally break down and beg someone to tell me how to do it. I'm not quite ready for that. I don't want it to come to that. But I think that's what's going to end up happening. I do not think that I am clever enough to figure out how to beat this boss. Our health regenerates automatically in the maze, but once we get to the boss, it does not. And although Cows seems to unironically love this music, I find everything about this stage to be pure torture. It looks hideous, it sounds hideous. It's terribly long and boring and frustrating and disappointing because I get killed all the time. I don't think I can say enough bad things about this level. I'm sorry, Cow says. No need to be sorry. I'm glad someone enjoys it. At least someone is enjoying themselves. I just can't. I cannot believe or comprehend or forgive the decision to make you have to redo this entire maze every time you die at the boss. I thought like the worst example of this kind of thing in video games was Ninja Gaiden, because in that one, there are 6 worlds. Each world has like 4 levels, something like that. But the final boss at the end of World 6, if you If you die to the final boss, you don't get just sent back to the beginning of the previous stage. You get sent back to the beginning of the world. You go back to the beginning of World 6. So you have to play like 4 levels over and over again on loop until you can beat the final boss. But even that, I don't find as disgusting as this stage in Echo. On paper, it seems like it would be worse, but this is much worse. Because this level is such torturous trash. And at least with Ninja Gaiden, you can learn how to get better at the levels and beat them like reliably after a little while. There's no way to do that here. I've played this stage for like 15 hours and haven't come anywhere near memorizing the pattern to this maze. And it's just the struggle of it is that just everything looks exactly like everything else. The whole map is identical, so it's impossible to build like mental references like to like landmarks because there are no landmarks. Pookie Stan. Go to my mom's house, same issue, overcompensating for the cold with massive amounts of heat. I can't figure out how to change the thermostat, so I've got the door to the back open. Fun stuff. I think it's your destiny to be overheated, Pookie. You need to move to the frozen north like me. So this is the boss that I am unable to defeat. Its weak spot is the eyes. When you hit it in the eye, though, it retaliates with a barrage of projectiles. Which, I mean, I can't really blame it. If he hit me in the eye, I'd retaliate too. Certainly. So, alright, I took out one eye. We're halfway there. I took out 2 eyes. Now I don't know what to do because it has no more weak spots. And then it chomps me and it's game over. So there you go. That's been like the last 15 hours of my life with this game. And that's why I'm miserable every time I turn it on. And here's the thing. That was a spectacular attempt. That's one of the best attempts I've ever had. And I still got nowhere. This game is just miserable trash. Oh, I can't wait to be done with it. Buddha fingers. Am I ready for it? Am I desperate enough for a hint yet? Nah, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna be in despair a while longer. Thank you for the stretch break, Pookie. I'll take it the next time I'll take the stretch break the next time I die. There will be no victory, so... You know, you said after death or victory. There will be no victory, so next time I die, we'll take a stretch break. Never say never. Maybe you'll victory this time. I don't know, Cows. I don't know. I'm pretty depleted of optimism regarding this game. Every time I turn it on, all the pain just instantly comes back. I just don't understand. Like, someone... Who... Has anyone on the planet ever figured out this game? Has anyone ever figured out how to beat it? I know people have beaten the game, but you see, here's the thing. I don't think anyone ever figured it out. I think that someone, like, tortured the solution out of someone who worked on the game, and then people have just passed around the solution ever since then. I don't think anyone's ever solved it on their own. No, my question was misunderstood. I know people have beaten it, but I think the first person who ever beat it, they didn't solve it. They kidnapped and tortured someone who worked on the game to force them to tell them how to beat it, and then they passed on the secret of how to beat it, and it's been passed on from word of mouth, but no one has ever solved it on their own. The second guy who beat it asked the first guy who beat it. The third guy who beat it asked the second guy who beat it. And on down the line. I don't think the game is solvable. Now you see, originally I was going to say, instead of saying that someone kidnapped and tortured one of the devs for the information. I was gonna say that they held someone dear to one of the devs ransom for the secret, but then I remembered that the people who developed this game, the people who developed this game have no love for anything or anyone. They couldn't be bribed. They couldn't be bribed in such a way. Because they're all dark-hearted and cruel. They created the ultimate torture device. When I beat it, I definitely didn't kidnap anyone, Budafingers says. Don't worry, Budafingers. I won't make you implicate yourself. Yeah, I've heard people have proposed it was made impossible for fear of rentals. People have proposed that to me a couple times now. I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with Sega to know about their attitude toward rentals. I think of the fear of the rental market as being a Nintendo thing. I mean, I'm not saying that couldn't have been Sega's attitude. I don't know Sega's attitude. But when I think of someone who is afraid of rentals, I think of Nintendo. And then, by association, the people developing for that platform. It doesn't make sense to me. The one thing that doesn't make sense to me, though, is that if your fear is the rental market, why would you make the last level impossible? Like, you would make it impossible a bit further on to, or a bit earlier on, I would imagine, to incentivize people with more of the game. Maybe I'm unusual, but I'm just thinking, like, if I rented a game and made it all the way through it up to the last level, and then I couldn't beat the last level, I wouldn't think, well, now I've got to buy the game. I'd be like, well, I pretty much experienced the whole game. I'd be much more likely to buy it if I made it halfway through the game. And I was like, well, beating, there's half of the game left, and beating it's going to take longer than I can do during a rental period, so I should probably just go ahead and buy it. Yeah, but that doesn't help them at all. You said that you may think that, but they got me to rent it until I beat it. That's not good for the game developers, though. That's only good for the rental business. That's good for, Blockbuster or whatever. The developers don't make money per rental. They make money per copy sold to Blockbuster, but at that point, they're not making it. Doesn't matter if one person rents it or a million people rent it. The game devs only make money for the initial sell of the copy. They don't get there's not like rental royalties. That's why game companies are afraid of the rental industry. If they got money per rental, it wouldn't have been so much of a fear. That still would have been a little bit of one, but they would have. Oh no, because they wouldn't have had to manufacture as many copies. Itarama, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, Itty. Welcome to you and your friends. I'm sorry to, I'm sure that you all were having a wonderful chill night on your stream. I'm sorry to ruin that for you with the agony that is Ecco the Dolphin. Stop trying to logic out this crime against fun. I love that description of this game. A crime against fun. Oh, I saw what you're playing it, he says. Alright then. Apology retracted. You've done this to yourself. Oh, I'm so jealous of you. I'm reading the shout out there. I'm so jealous. You're playing Super Ghouls and Ghosts. That's my favorite game. That's the opposite of this game. But yeah, my friends, if you don't follow Itarama, then please do so. Use that link there to change that situation. Itty streams a variety of games. Like me, he really enjoys Super Ghouls and Ghosts, though. And if you think my stream is laid back and chill, you haven't seen anything. Itty streams are a great place to relax. There is no chill here tonight. There is only tears. Haven't been able to raid you with the constant schedule difference. Yeah. No worries. I think I'd like to face the boss like maybe 2 more times. If I can get 2 more good attempts on the boss, like attempts where I get there and I get rid of the eyes and have some time to experiment and try to figure out if anything works. If I can get 2 more attempts and I can't make it happen, then I think I'm gonna cry for a hint. So, you know, I should be ready about 12 streams from now. Tonight's the night you'll put it into this game. I appreciate the vote of confidence, Eddie. It's really hard to feel optimistic. I'll set my alarm. Oh. I am kind of curious about like what terrible, horrible series of events led to the creation of this game. Like, part of me wants to, like, when I daydream about the imaginary future where I've beaten this game. I think to myself, wouldn't it be fascinating to know how such evil was crafted? Wouldn't that be something interesting to find out? But on the other hand, like, the other half of me just thinks if I ever beat this game, I'm going to immediately just begin to deny that this game exists and never acknowledge it ever again. Don't think about it, don't remember it. Or if I can insist adamantly enough that no such game as Ecco the Dolphin exists, maybe I can wish it out of existence. Oh no! Oh yeah, Pookie said something about the cat. Trying to be pessimistic, then the cat goes all in on spooning. No space for pessimism here, only optimism, even the cat agrees. I think your previous idea was correct, Buddhafinger says. Someone wished to be a game dev on a monkey's paw. Yeah. Yeah. I've been lost in this level, losing my mind for so many times for so long. I can't remember half of the nonsense I've said about it. How many different ways are there to say this is a bad experience? This kind of reminds me of the end of Captain Toad. I really liked Captain Toad. I think about it from time to time because it's the last. Captain Toad was the last game that I played all the way through before I started streaming, and and when I think about it, I wish I hadn't. I wish I had played Captain Toad on stream. It's a pretty fun game. It's not especially challenging. but it's a pretty fun game up until the very end. If you're going for 100%, like the final challenge in Captain Toad is crazy difficult and comes out of nowhere. It's a dramatic difficulty spike. But it's kind of an auto-scrolling maze, like this. Not exactly, but there is a similarity, and I don't know. This makes me think of it. Oh, I just imagine someone locked in a cell with this game, walls covered in codes to the machine. They can no longer bring themselves to make more attempts. They stare at the madness on the wall for the patterns to emerge and speak to them. Yeah, I don't understand the way the passwords work. It's very, very bizarre to me that each level seems to have an infinite number of random passwords. Frownie, Frownie, you're the one. If you can't beat it, I'll never see the end of this game. You and me both. I'd like to bring home the victory for us. Maybe the secret is I'm not supposed to fight the boss at all. Maybe there's a second secret exit to the maze that takes you to a different place where you don't fight the boss. What about that? Maybe that's why you get sent back to the maze every time you fail, is because you have to find the second secret exit. Wouldn't that be something? That would be cruel. So cruel, I can't even spell cruel right. It sounds like I'm coping. I thought that was when I was insisting that no one had ever beaten this game legitimately. I thought the secret exit theory was a good idea. That's denial. You moved on to bargaining. I think I've made the progression through the 5 stages. I think I've completed them on loop several times. Attempts at the boss are just spaced out so far. There's no way to figure it out because I can't. I can't ever have any attempts close together. I gotta go through this. Gotta go through this whole nightmare every time. So I had a we had a Shih Tzu before, and we trained him to obey a lot of commands. Like he would go to his to his doggy bed on command, and he would dance on his hind legs on command, and he would lie down and he would stay in place. So he knew a handful of commands, and he responded to them really well. But the one thing we could never get him to do, we could never teach him to fetch. If we would toss a toy for him or something, like, he would go and chase it down, but we could never get him. We could never figure out how to teach him to return it to us. But and we put we tried our best, but that's just something we could never get him to learn. But then we got a cat, and our cat plays fetch. And we didn't even have to teach the cat. Inky, he'll play, but here's the thing, not only Inky will play fetch. He's not great at it, but of his own, like, as his own idea, he likes to play fetch. But he's not super clever. Like, he'll go chase his toy and he'll bring it back to you, but he tends to set it down, like, just out of reach. Like, he's definitely bringing it back to you because he'll bring it back from all the way across the house. But when he sets it down, like, he'll never set it close enough so that you could pick it up from where you are. But the weird thing is, Khaki also plays fetch, but Khaki's way better at it. Like, Khaki will bring the toy back and, like, all the way up to you and set it down on your foot. Or if you're sitting down and you put out your hand, he'll even drop it in your hand. Most of the time. So they both do that, but they didn't learn it from one another. Not that we could tell, because I don't think either of us have ever played. I don't think either of us have ever played fetch with both of them at the same time, or in any situation where one of them could watch the other one doing it to pick up the habit. I don't know, it's just... This is very interesting to me. Seems slightly weird. This is not going to be a very good attempt. Unfortunately, I've lost a lot of health. I just know if I ever figure out what to do, I'm going to be so annoyed and angry because I know it's going to be something terrible and stupid. And I know whatever it is I'm supposed to do is just going to be something that's going to make me hate this game more than I ever thought I could. If the cat is setting it out of reach, who's playing fetch with who? It's just slightly, though. It's just enough so that you have to, like, if you're sitting down on the floor, you have to like, lunge for it. I have betrayed the cat to type this. It is trying to spoon, but I type on this thing. Oh, I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to do a stretch break. I forgot all about that. That seems like a lifetime ago. Oh. Well, we'll do that next. Oh. The cat is spooning. The problem is I can't close the back door without kicking him off me, but that seems to be less of a problem because of the heat, so it might be worthwhile to just leave it open. Fair enough. Alien 3 box? That's not a box, that's the instruction manual. These are all my instruction manuals are on the spinning display now. I've got the NES games. I don't have all my NES games over here. There's like maybe 18 more that are deeper in the room, but they're gonna come over here too eventually. But yeah, since it's better to have the games on the shelf. It's easier to find what I'm looking for. So it was actually Black Fox suggested I put the manuals on the spinners, and I kind of like it. I think it looks good. Where's the Frowntown sign? That's also it's in the same place it was. It's just deeper in the room. Everything, like all the stuff, like the televisions and the consoles and stuff, everything shifted along the wall. I pushed everything to my right. On the side of the room that I face, everything is moved down to the right. The Frowntown sign is going to go above this bookshelf, though. So I'm those plushies that I have up there. They're not going to stay up there forever. When I get my, I'm supposed to get a set. I'm supposed to get a shelf that matches this one, and I'm going to put that. It'll be off camera. It'll be over in the room, close to where my consoles used to be, and then those plushies on the top of there will probably mostly go onto the other shelf, and I'm going to put the Frowntown sign up there. I was supposed to get the I was supposed to get the other shelf. I was supposed to get it last week on Wednesday, but the weather made that not possible, and then I was supposed to get it on Monday, and then it was moved to today, but again, we had another ice storm, and so I couldn't get it today. That's a cool way to keep instruction manuals. Yeah, I like it. All right. Alright, we gotta go upside down for a while. Per our channel point redemptions. Mute Frownie. Cat knocked out earbuds. Okay. I didn't think I had muted myself. I only have one Genesis game box. And that's Ghouls and Ghosts. I have very few game boxes or cases in my collection. Yeah, somewhere probably around like maybe somewhere around 3% of the games in my collection have cases. Most of them are Switch games. I think all my Switch games have cases. But like, so far as like games with boxes or cases, my PSP games almost all have cases. I think there's only maybe 2 that don't. Maybe 3. But I don't have a lot of PSP games. I've only got like 10 to 12 PSP games. I have more, I think I have more Super Famicom boxes. Like, when it comes to, like, games that came in, like, cardboard boxes, I think I have more Super Famicom boxes than anything else. And that's only like 4 or 5. Boxes and cases have never been important to me to preserve. Generally speaking. Genesis cases held up well, yeah. I mean, they're they should. For the most part, they're plastic cases. I know that some Genesis games did come in just sort of cardboard boxes. Or cardboard cases later on, but for the most part, you know, I think of those nice plastic cases that they came in. But I don't think I threw out any of my Genesis cases. I might have had 1 or 2 cases that I threw out but if I did, it would have been because they were terribly damaged. My Genesis games pretty much all came loose. Because none of the Genesis games date back to my childhood. They're all things that I bought later on. For the most part, I don't think I started buying Genesis games until I was in college. Inky is the only one of our cats that will reliably like sleep near me. Twiggy doesn't like me at all. She never wants to come up to like sit in my lap or sit down next to me or anything like that. She likes Jelly pretty much exclusively. But Inky likes to share my bed. He wants to hang out with me all the time, pretty much. But he's super particular about how he wants to lay on my bed. If I'm laying, it all depends on which way I'm laying. If I'm laying on my right-hand side, then he wants to sleep like up near my face with my arm up so that he can use my arm as a chin rest. And if I'm laying on my right-hand side, he wants to sleep down lower toward my chest, but he wants to be under my blankets. And if I don't let him get into the position that he wants, he pesters me. But it's just so weird because he doesn't seem to care. He doesn't seem to care which of the two positions he's in. It just depends on which way I'm laying. But like I can't if I'm laying on my right-hand side, I can't get him to come under the blanket for the world. It's so odd. I am not gonna figure this out. Sparrow, welcome to the stream. Great to have you here, my friend. How am I doing? I'm suffering. I'm playing Echo, Sparrow. That's how terribly I'm doing. If I weren't playing Echo, everything would be fine. But alas. All right, Buddha Fingers, I am gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna break down enough to ask you a question. Because I gotta know, am I at least doing the right thing in trying to take out the boss's eyeballs? Is that what I should be doing when I get to the boss? Or is that a misdirect? So that is on the right path. All right. See, for the most part, it doesn't really matter what I have to do after that because I can so rarely live to accomplish even that. But when I do, I don't know what to do. My thought a very long time ago, and it could still be correct. It could have been an execution error. I think I've only tried it once, but one of my earliest thoughts was that perhaps I needed to remove the boss's eyes and then try to swim into his head. Like, in through the empty eye sockets, which is pretty grotesque and terrible, but I tried it once and it didn't work, but I don't know if it was an execution error. So, like, that remains perhaps my best idea for how to proceed. I don't know. If I can ever get to him and remove his eyes again, I might just have to ask for help. Oh, Cal says, I'm off to sleep. I'm off to sleep and dream of this. Well, Cows, I can't wish you pleasant dreams if that's the case, because it's impossible for a dream of this to be pleasant. Oh. I guess I'll just wish you good luck with your sleep. Be well, Cows. Thank you for being here. As always, I appreciate your company, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. It's okay. We believe in you. Thank you, Black Fox. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I have almost entirely run out of belief in myself. I'm wearing down. My stubbornness is cracking. Alrighty. I think that's good. Thank you, Buddha Fingers. Although I have tried, again, I just killed myself trying to demonstrate it. Again, a user error is very likely, but I have tried using the sort of poke attack on the boss too. And it didn't have any effects that were noticeable to me, but it's scary. It's scary to use the poke attack because when I'm wrong about it, I'm just going to get myself hurt. Can you use the poke attack on these guys? No. Just curious, I never tried. All bosses should have health bars. I mean, maybe? I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, the game should give you feedback as to whether or not you're hurting the boss. And the game should try to indicate in what way the boss can be hurt. So my two big ideas regarding the boss have been, well, it's always been take out its eyes first. But then I thought maybe swim in through the eye socket, and that didn't work. And I did try to poke him. I tried to poke him in the head once, but I just ended up dying. But that is still on the table. Because the thing is, I very rarely live long enough to take out both of his eyes, so I haven't exactly had a lot of opportunities to experiment with what comes after that. And it's very possible that I've had an idea close to the right idea and just executed it wrongly. So I've just, basically this is all just to say I've learned nothing. And it's annoying. It's annoying that the game has done such a poor job to teach me. I know I'm really dumb, but I can't be this dumb. Cats can be very, very hazardous to one's productivity. Completely agreed. It's truly torturing to know what you have to do next and sitting back to watch you in silence on all of the attempts. If it makes me feel like a bad guy and a bad friend, but it's your wishes. Yes, you would be a villain if you were to spoil it for me against my wishes. No need to feel like a bad guy. Letting me struggle and craft my own suffering. That's the kindest thing you can do. Monster Hunter bosses have no life bars, but they show signs of being at the end of their life bar by limping. No health bars in Super Metroid, and it's fine. Agent Frownie is a friendly spirit of torment. You're not dumb, Agent Frownie. Thank you, Black Fox. It's just so awful that even to experiment with what is required to defeat the boss, I have to go through this. Just for the opportunity to try a dumb idea, I have to go through all of this nonsense. It's horrible. I streamed some adventure of Chris last night. I'm not sure if you should watch it though, Agent Frownie. Sparrow says, I didn't see that you were going to do that because my internet kept going in and out, but I did see that you mentioned it in the Discord. Earlier today, but no, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it because I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to play it. Is that why you meant I shouldn't watch it? To avoid spoilers? Or did something else come up? Were you doing more impressions of me, Sparrow? The lack of save states in this playthrough is commendable. Thank you, Buddha Fingers. No, I would never use a save state. I can't do it. I mean, I couldn't do it even if I wanted to, because because I have no, there is no possibility. Because I'm on a real Genesis. But no, I don't care for save states and rewind features. I don't use those kinds of things. I don't really care if other people want to use them. I'm not going to tell people how to play games. But I don't enjoy it. And you know, if I'm the one who's creating the list of people who have beaten a particular game, I wouldn't include people who had used save states to do it on my personal list. But I don't think that other people necessarily need to care about whether or not I would include them on that list. I don't know. It's how do you say it? I don't care if people use save states when they play games. I don't approve of people using save states, but I don't think that people should care about whether or not I approve of how they play games. Oh yeah, that's why it cut out last night. Black Fox is just my internet went out, and then for the next, I don't even know how long because I didn't keep using it, but it would come in for like it would start working again for a few minutes, and then it would stop for a few minutes, and it was just, I don't know. I didn't stick around to wait to see how long it took to become perfectly functional again. I was just like, I was kind of tired anyway, so I was just like, you know what? We'll just call it an early night. Because if I'd waited around like a half an hour or so, it might have started reliably working again. Usually when that happens, I only have sometimes it comes back, you know, pretty quickly. But it just, I don't know. It didn't seem necessary to wait around for it to come back, to pick back up. Though I do kind of wish it had waited. I do kind of wish it had waited until after I'd finished Ocarina of Time to go out. It would have been nice if if it had waited until we'd moved on to something else. But oh well. Oh, there's a password that gets you to the final boss. Nah. I would feel bad. I would probably feel bad if I used that. If the game didn't give it to me. Sorry, there's a whole lot of chat that I haven't read. I'll catch up with everything after the next time I perish. I disagree. I disagree with that death. How did I get crunched? That's not possible. The screen was not moving down. This game is misery. Alright, let me, exactly, I'd prefer to watch you play it without having seen any spoilers, yeah. I would want to prefer it that way. I would prefer to play it that way, so yeah. I actually did perform I did a perfect Frownie oh no of my own and didn't realize it until afterwards. I just recall being a topic of conversation during your Sonic 1 stream. Way back when, and Jelly and I had a really good laugh about when you were talking about the way I say oh no all the time. It was kind of a surreal experience to watch another streamer talking about me. Okay, about the password, yeah. Read that. I think I missed something. Earlier up, but I don't see it now. Have this thing that I stream that I feel I have a responsibility to progress through the game. So if I'm stuck on something, I tend very quickly to start to use save states. I can get that. I can get that. You know, there are definitely other people I've watched who are streaming that watch them stream and they have sort of the same feeling. I have that feeling too. I'm just too stubborn to give into it. I definitely feel a very high amount of guilt when I'm unable to make progress and I put my viewers through the same boring thing again and again and again. At one point, some group was talking about an add-on cart, like a Game Genie, but just for saving Genesis saves. I don't think I've heard of that. I think save states are useful to figure stuff out in practice. I don't think it's cheap if you used save states to figure out the boss, then reload for real. No, I don't think that's necessarily bad. I'm surprised how much effort you put into Contra practice without saves. Well, I mean, Contra isn't really that long though, so I feel like I've pretty much, well, I don't know. There is a slight difference to it, Budafingers, though, because when I play games for challenge runs and stuff, I'm not trying to memorize patterns. Like, I'm not interested in memorizing a pattern of movement that takes me successfully through a game every time. Like, I want to play to where I'm legitimately reacting to the game each time I play it, rather than executing a pattern of moves. That's why it's one of the reasons that speedrunning is not interesting to me. And I know that not all speedruns are mechanical pattern memorization, but there is at least an element of that in a lot of speedruns, and that's not an interesting way to play a game to me. Get the feeling this cat is having a better snooze than you. Or I have ever had, and that's groovy, but it's problematic to me. Moving and doing stuff, including closing the back door, but it does have a point since the back door is making sure we don't overheat, so it might be best if it remains open. The SNES had an add-on cart back in the day made by Naki Tech called the Game Saver or Game Saver Plus. Yeah, never heard of that Black Fox. At this point, the horrible thing just seems like a formality, so I wouldn't feel bad about using the boss password since you've proven you can endlessly win this if necessary. But it's your world. I agree with Budafingers, or I agree with Pookiestan. Budafingers says the maze is really the bad thing here. I've noticed you say it a lot less. I hope I didn't have anything to do with it. What are you talking about, Sparrow? You think I say "oh no" less than I did before? I feel like if anything, I probably say it more. No worries, Pookiestan. Enjoy your time with your cat. Oh yeah, I've been upside down for too long. Early on I said it quite a bit, and you think it's calmed down since? Maybe. Maybe. You might be right. Maybe it depends on what I'm playing, too, though. I think I found myself using it because it's actually a good filler for curse words. I mean, that might be part of the whole point of why I say it, Sparrow. You know, I say a lot of oh no and my goodness and yuck. These might be substitutions for for other things that I could be saying. No, I don't have a problem with I don't have a problem with people using adult language. On their streams. It can be too much, you know. It can be more than I'd prefer to listen to, you know, from some people, but I'm not immediately scandalized just because a streamer uses curse words. Hey, we have another raid coming in. It's Bel Air Jeff. Oh, Bel Air Jeff. Welcome to Superman 64. Once again I'm trying to solve Lex's maze. Oh, pleasure to have you here for the stream. Welcome to you and your friends. I think you were playing... I don't know, the last thing I saw that you were going to play was Mega Man DOS. I don't know if that was tonight or if that was earlier. But, how'd your stream go? You beat DOS yesterday. Right on. Have you ever played Kirby's Dream Course? I've played a bit of it. I haven't played all the way through the game, but I've played a bit of it. Trying to remember. I think Jelly and I might have been playing it together at one point. I don't recall. But I haven't gone all the way through it, but I played a bit of it. I like Kirby's Dream Course. Or I liked what I played of it. Really fun game, yeah. That was my those are my thoughts. I'm on the last course. It's really hard. It's so punishing. I don't want to hear about punishing, Jeff. I don't want to hear about being stuck on the last course. I think I've played this level for close to 17 hours. Our problems are really similar. Well, I wish you the best of luck in beating it. By the way, did we get a shout out for Jeff in chat? I think so, but I'm not 100% sure because I can't look at the chat very closely while I'm stuck in the maze. But yeah, if you want to use that link, you can give Jeff a follow and keep up to date with his, he's working his way through all of the Mega Man and all the Kirby games. He's doing a I don't know, a double marathon. I don't know what you're calling it, but he's working his way chronologically through every game in both series. Sort of in a back and forth style. All right, let me rewind just a little bit here so I make sure I didn't miss anything. The heat is on now. This is the run. I don't know, Black Fox. I don't know if raids are a kindness or a curse right now. It's unlucky for the people coming in with the raid, I think. Jelly and I don't actually play a whole lot of games together, especially like competitively. Usually if Jelly's playing a game, I'm just sitting by watching. And you mentioned you were talking about substitutions for curse words, Sparrow. There's a reason that Jelly's content is pre-recorded. We have a lot in common, you and I. Don't we ever, Jeff? Mega Man DOS was fun. It's a bad game, but at least it was easy. You beat it in an hour. Near to 20 hours, isn't it? That I've been on this level. I don't know, Black Fox. I lost count a long time ago. I was thinking that it was close to 15 before tonight. And I don't know, I've been playing this for like 2 hours now. Smoush, welcome in. Happy to have you with us as well. Alright, back in. Mega Man DOS is a trash game, but it's fun to play through. The game was made by a single person. I can't say that I've ever had my hands on Mega Man DOS. I feel like I've seen some footage of it at some time. Like I think it's in like, isn't it in like a weird like bright color palette? There was an official DOS port of Mega Man X? My goodness. Welcome in, Enigma Wave. Great to see you. There's no music. Oh no. What is a Mega Man without music? This level is a for anyone who may not know, this level is like a random 6-minute long maze followed by a boss that I do not know how to defeat. And every time I die at the boss, I have to do the whole maze again. And I'm so bad at the maze that I only get to see the boss about once or twice every hour. This game is far and away the most horrible experience I've ever had in video games. See, look at that. We're like 4 minutes into the maze and all that progress immediately lost because I couldn't squeeze through one narrow gap. Try beating Kirby Pinball. That game could change your mind. There's no way that game could be worse than this, Bel Air Jeff. I can't believe it. Did you spend 20 hours on one level in Kirby Pinball? No, I use save states to save after every board. Criminal. You weren't going to dedicate months of stream time to Kirby Pinball? Aw, come on. It sounds like a fantastic few months to me. I actually have a copy of Kirby Pinball, so it is something I could play, but now I'm scared, so maybe we'll wait. I have more important games to play. Unfortunately, I do too, but I don't know if I'm ever going to get to them. I'm requesting that. I think I picked a good time to take back control of my schedule. Kirby Pinball world record is 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Don't get smashed again. All right, well, we got further than we did last time. That's where I died. Well, I don't think it was the attempt immediately before, but that was the last decent place that I died. Or maybe it was that, I can't tell. They all look, everything in this level looks the same. No. My health is really low, so yeah. Oh, that's how it goes. That's how it goes when I do well on the level. That's why I've spent my whole life here. Oh. Alright, let me pause it for a moment because I feel like I missed a lot of the chat and I don't want to do that to everybody. I went the whole game unsure of how to change my weapon, Jeff says in reference to Mega Man DOS. So I beat the whole game with only the pea shooter. That's how I tend to play Mega Man games anyway. Is I don't actually use the superpower the boss powers very often typically. DOS games of that era had poor side-scrolling, seemed to be very choppy, not sure why. Going through the Keen games. Alright, I may have become a watch enthusiast. I bought a Seiko 5 today. It's a nice one with a green face and gold accents on the hands. Fully automatic mechanical. It's cheap by watch standards. About $250. Sparrow, I think the most expensive watch that I've ever had was probably like $10. So I would say, yeah, I think you qualify as a watch enthusiast. The Yellow Devil in Mega Man 1 took me like 2 hours of attempts. The Yellow Devil is pretty rough. But, I mean, he has a reliable pattern, so once you get it down... Once you get it down, you can beat him every time, but he moves real fast, so figuring out the pattern, it's like a high barrier to entry. I don't remember. I couldn't tell you about the first time that I beat him. Mega Man 1 I beat for the first time, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, so it's a pretty foggy memory to me. It's no heirloom, that's for sure. How many sort of relatively nice watches does that make for you now, Sparrow? Didn't you say hadn't you bought another one before that? I have 3 in total now. One is an Apple Watch. Does that count? Yeah, I would count that. I know it's not the same thing, but I would still count it. There's a Rolex that looks very similar to the one I have, except it's about $15,000. Yeah, that's more than my car is worth. I didn't think Mega Man 1 was too hard. Just a few rough areas. Yeah. Mega Man, I mean, after playing I haven't played all the Mega Man games, but after playing, you know, all the Castlevania games, I don't think that there's anything in the Mega Man series that approaches the difficulty of the hardest Castlevania games. Nothing that I've experienced, anyway. All right, I need to get my head in the game. Enigma Wage says, I had the Jurassic Park watches from Burger King. Kirby games have been harder than Mega Man games so far. Can you believe it? Oh, I can believe that. One of the hardest games I ever played was a Kirby game. But I wasn't just playing it to credits either. What Kirby games have been terribly difficult? Like which ones have been worse than Mega Man so far? Pinball and Dream Course. So not really. See, that's the thing, is those are sort of spin-off games. They don't really, I don't think of them as the same type of thing. So it doesn't really surprise me that they're brutally difficult. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you shouldn't count them. I'm just saying they're not what comes to mind to me. You think that spin-off games would be fun? I see. That's the thing. I wouldn't expect. I wouldn't expect spin-off games to be very fun, because I would expect them to have a lot less polish and to be more broken and unfair. My like natural expectation of spin-off games would be to expect a sort of low quality cash grab type effort that leads in a frustrating that ends up in a frustrating product. Dream Course is really well made. Yeah, I like Dream Course. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that's what I would expect of them. Can't say the same about Pinball. Like the PlayStation Classic. What are we talking about? Black Fox? Frustrating cash grabs. Are we talking about like the PlayStation like mini console? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really know much about that. I do recall hearing that it was a disappointment. Sony doesn't care about their legacy content. I mean... Who... What? Like, who... What companies do care about their legacy content? I mean, really care about it. Nintendo did during the Wii era. I mean, Nintendo has probably the best sort of history of, you know, in regards to how they keep their legacy content alive and available, but even then, they've not done a great job overall. You are right about the Wii era, though. Alright, there goes an eye. There's another eye. Alright, Buddha Fingers, you wanna help me out? Do I need to do a stabbing move at the boss? Like a poking move? Is that what it's time for? I wish they kept their virtual console going system to system and let you build a library. Yeah. I need to poke it in the right spot. That's what I was afraid of. Oh no, that's not a poke. I used the wrong button. I didn't even get to try. Oh, I hate this so much. Alright, take out the eyes and poke it. Oh. Jeff, are you redeeming that because you want me to be right side up? Poking is the next part, but you'll need to find its weakness. Alright. I'm good with that. Yeah, you should have just told me that I was still upside down, because I should have flipped myself right side up, you know, probably an hour or two ago. I've been forgetting. The devs forgot the golden rule of video gaming for this one. It should be fun at some point. Yeah, they didn't. When they made this game, they didn't want it. They didn't want anybody who played this to have fun. This game is designed to make people miserable. They made the first part of the game just fun enough to lure you in. And then you're invested, and then you're miserable. At least the music is a cool, mysterious vibe, Jeff says. This music, I have said so many negative things about this music. You're not the first person to compliment it in the chat, but it's just funny every time I read it because I've complained about this music being agonizing over and over again. I like it from someone who's been watching this game for about 30 minutes. It's just crazy that they did this. They give you this maze and follow it up. The maze is horrible enough. The maze is bad enough to ruin the game, but then they followed it up with a boss that is difficult, that is not only difficult, but super mysterious. It is crazy difficult and cryptic boss, and when you fail, you have to do this whole punishing maze again. It's just irredeemable. There's other stuff. Echo has abilities they never tell you about anywhere? Oh no. I forget there's an opening down here. I like that you're so cool-headed, Agent Frownie. I do my best, Jeff. Thank you. But I don't really know that I'm so much like calm as I am just in despair. I start yelling after 3 failed attempts. I have a lot to learn from you. I wish to be as empty as you. Alright, let's see how it goes. Just because we get here doesn't really mean anything good will happen. Oh, my health is too low. The Echo Master Code. It allows you to beat the game with one button press. That button is the power button. You beat it by not playing it anymore. Lex wins. Solve my maze. I'm surprised. I'm surprised it took this long for me to start seeing that. Oh. I think I'm going to give this about another half an hour of attempts. It's about 5:30 a.m. for me. I'm going to go until about 6, and then I'm gonna throw in the towel yet again. And we'll come back for a 9th stream of just this level, you know, sometime. You'll get it, but I would suggest you just grind it like you did Pokemon, so you can put it to rest. Having to relearn the maze every week can't be helping. Well, if I don't get it tonight, I'm probably not going to pick it up again for a while, because I've already got this week and next week kind of planned out, and nothing's going to overlap. It's pretty amazing. But no, you do have a point. I do put myself at a tremendous disadvantage by only playing this once a week. So every time I pick it up, I do have to kind of relearn it. But that's why we're narrowing down. That's why we're narrowing down how many games are on the stream simultaneously. That's not going to continue. That's why I've been so focused on trying to beat some things. And we've done pretty well. We've finished at least one game every night this week so far. Well, we've finished one game every night this week so far. There's no need for the at least. Right? We got Fazanadu, we got Gauntlet Legends, we got Ocarina. All three of those are now off the schedule. Oddworld and Double Dash will be off the schedule before too long. You know, maybe 2 more sessions of each of those. Cuphead I'll probably finish the next time I pick it up too. I think we're probably going to finish Cuphead on Friday. Tomorrow we're going to play Kirby Pinball, so this will have to wait. No such luck, Jeff. Nice try. One eyeball gone. 2 eyeballs gone. I just gotta poke him in the right place. Probably several times. Well, it's not the top of the head. Poke him in the jaw. Oh my goodness, I gotta poke him in the jaw. Without getting eaten. This game is impossible. I hate this game. There's no way I'm going to be able to pull this off. His jaw is the most deadly part of him, and I have to... It's going to make me approach it? Unacceptable. This game makes no sense. Oh, I hate it. When the enemies just for no reason are a one-hit kill. You know, speaking of Pokemon, there's still a little bit more that I technically could do in Pokemon, but I think I don't think I'm gonna pick up Pokemon Legends again. I made it to a point that I think is the furthest that I can go, even though technically there's a bit more of the game left. To make any more story progress, I would have to I mean, it sounds like to make any more story progress, I've got to complete the Pokédex. And that's not really something that I'm capable of doing. At least the music is good. Every sound coming out of this game is terrible. No, Black Fox, unfortunately, I don't think that this new information has not yet brought me any new hope. I guess, you know, 'cause even though I found out what I suppose the game wants me to do, it doesn't seem any more possible. It seems like a very difficult task. Oh, but I'm stuck. I'm kind of stuck in Pokemon Legends, though, because, like I was trying to say, it wants me to complete the Pokédex, but that's something I don't know if I can even do that, because I refuse to evolve my Oshawott, and so I don't know. I don't know if it would be possible for me to complete the Pokédex without evolving my Oshawott, and I can't do that. So I think that leaves me stuck. I'm fairly optimistic, Butterfinger says. You'll get it, Frownie. We'll see. I like the new Pokemon game, but I also skipped all the dialogue. Oh, you didn't miss anything, Jeff. I think that was my biggest complaint. Black Fox asked me what I would change in the sequel, and the first thing that I thought was I said, well, I would probably cut at least 50% of the dialogue. No, it's just talky. The dialogue's just nonsense. Nothing I needed to nothing you needed. A lot of the thing about the dialogue in the game is most of it is just so repetitive. I really like Gen 1 of Pokemon, and none of the other generations have really done it for me in the same way. And there's a lot of reasons why that could be, I guess. But I don't know, I can't think about it. Can't think about it at the moment. Hang on. I'm busy dying. I wonder how many times I have to hit this guy. If it's more than 3, it's not gonna happen. If it's less than 3, it probably won't happen because my health is gone. I hate this. The thing that so I've played Pokemon Blue is the only one that I've gone all the way through, but I've sort of sampled other ones. But the thing that I like about Pokemon, the first generation of Pokemon that the other ones don't capture, I think is like I like how scientific the first generation of Pokemon is. Like it has a very I feel like it has a very sort of optimistic sort of view of science and technology, and it seems to be really interested in that. And every generation after that introduces more and more mysticism, and that's a change that's not interesting to me in Pokemon. And it's weird because I'm not really a sci-fi kind of person. Usually I'm a more of a fantasy nerd than anything. So usually I like that sort of mystical type stuff, but because that's not what the first generation of Pokemon was like. I don't know. It just feels weird to me that there's so much of it in the later ones. My thoughts aren't very well formed, but it's sort of the reverse of like. It's like in Zelda games when like more and more in Zelda games, like they keep wanting to put more and more like stuff that looks like modern tech in Zelda games, and that feels weird and out of place to me. Kind of like how they did in Breath of the Wild. It didn't, like ruin the game for me in Breath of the Wild. I mean, it is pretty goofy that Link is running around with a magical switch. They try to dress it up. They try to dress it up so that it fits into a fantasy world. Because like it's like the towers are and stuff, like the like Sheikah tech seems to be powered by some sort of weird like blue energy liquid or something. And a lot of the stuff kind of like has gears to it, so it's sort of like it has a mechanical logic to a lot of the tech. So they do an okay job of trying to make it fit, but it's still a little weird. Just you wait, Frownie. Sooner or later, there's going to be a full-on wizard reading spell scrolls off an iPad. I mean, it's fine. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me to express. It's not even so much like I don't really mind the combination of the sort of like fantasy stuff with the tech stuff. It's just weird when when one of the elements is introduced when it didn't feel like it was there before. Welcome in, Talon. Good to see you. I mean, you have a point to an extent, Buddha fingers, but if there aren't sort of limits to how you to the way you expand your vision, then you get stuff like those weird like Superman comic books from like the mid 20th century where he has a different wacky power every single issue, and then there's just nothing in his universe makes sense anymore. It's a very Nintendo thing to make self-reference to its current console inside their games. That's true. I agree with that. I don't know. I think we're talking. I think we're talking past each other a little bit. Part of it is I'm just not expressing myself very well. But I just think I'm just saying there's something about the first generation of Pokemon that it had a particular vibe that was, I think, had to do with the era it was made, and it was, or something. I don't know, but it just had a view that felt like it was very grounded in a particular vision of future tech that was from right around that like early internet sort of time period that it comes from, and that was my first introduction to it, and I thought that was kind of cool, and none of the later generations captured that same feel. And it's not necessarily, they're just not for me, I guess. But it's just, I don't know, just the sort of the it just seemed like what they were going for. In the first one, they didn't stick to it with any of the other ones after that. And it was just odd. It'd be like I don't even know. But I don't even really, mind that the other generations of Pokemon do feel different to me, because I mean, that's okay. I don't have to play them. Oh, I'm gonna be here the rest of my life, Pookie. What do you mean you're still here? uh... I had a steak, but a chunk of it was green, so I did the smart thing and threw it out. Yeah, that's probably... that's probably a smart move. Oh, I've already played for 15 minutes longer than I thought I was going to. I mean, I'll give you a heads up, Pookie. If you flip me upside down, you might not get your full time's worth because I don't know if the stream is going to last 15 more minutes. I don't know if you were here for it, Pookie, but I do at least know how to fight the boss. I know what the next thing to do is. So, while I haven't made any progress, I do have more knowledge than I had at the start of the stream. I mean, I don't know if it's the final thing I have to do, but I know it's the next thing I have to do. I fully expect that this could be, you know, like a 14 phase fight. And that the eyes and the chin are only the first two weaknesses. Yes, everything about the solution is garbage. I guess I didn't say it, but my prediction that the solution would be something that made me hate the game even more is true. Alright, well, this is gonna be our last life for tonight. So we'll see. We'll beat it or we won't, but it's gonna be the end after this attempt. I saw that guy and I fired at him and it didn't work. I don't think this is happening. Especially because it hurts me every time I try to hit him. Oh, this is it. This is the end. Yeah. Oh, that's it. We're done, my friends. Oh, what a terrible, miserable game. This game has 0 redeeming qualities. This game has negative value. Oh. Alright, so we're gonna wrap it up. We beat one game tonight. We made some good progress in another, and then this experience was what it was. I have nothing good to say about it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you keeping me company on this awful, awful journey, my friends. All right, I think I'm gonna take off. I think I'm gonna take off without a raid. We've gone way later than I needed to, or we got way later than I wanted to, and I don't see anything that I'm really eager to drop in on at the moment, not at a glance anyway. So I think we'll just wrap it up. But yeah, one more time, thank you for being here. We should be around tomorrow night, around 11 p.m. Central Time as the startup. I think I've got Bushido Blade and Brave Fencer Musashi on the schedule. Let me double check. Yeah, so Bushido Blade, there's a challenge in that game for letting you unlock one of the boss characters, and I'm gonna give that a try. Although I don't know how that's gonna go. That's gonna be the first part of the stream, and then Brave Fencer Musashi. We started that game. I think we've played it. I think we've only played it once. We started it several weeks ago. I'm finally getting back to it. I'm gonna pick it up for one session. Tomorrow night and see if we can get back into the swing of it and make some progress. So those are what to expect if you drop back in again. But yeah, for now I'm gonna take off. So be well, my friends. Hope that hope that we get to see each other again real soon.